Welcome back to Series on Catalyst University. My name is Kevin Tokoph. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for future videos and notifications. In this video, we're going to talk about a very useful series in this chapter, and it's the Harmonic Series. And we're going to especially be using the Harmonic Series when we get to the direct comparison test, which is a test that we can use to test whether or not a series converges or diverges. And there's some other useful aspects of this. But I will just go ahead and tell you, the harmonic series is basically anything in the form. We have a series n equals 1 to infinity of some number. It doesn't have to be 1, but normally it's 1 over n. Okay? And what the harmonic series is basically, if you think about it, it's 1 over 1, so 1, plus 1 over 2, plus 1 over 3, plus 1 over 4, plus 1 over 5, and so on and so forth. Now, it was originally thought that this series, someone did a proof of this in the 17th and 18th century, two independent people, but actually after digging some history up, it has actually been shown that this harmonic series was actually shown to diverge in a proof by Nicole Oresme. And he was an important philosopher and mathematician back in the 14th century. And he is the first one on record to prove that the harmonic series diverges. And he did it in a very interesting and very simple way. A lot of the most important experiments and so forth have been really simple and elegant. So let's actually look at this and show why it diverges, and then after this you pretty much just accept that it diverges and use that as a fact from here on out. But here's the proof. Alright, this series 1 right here, this is the harmonic series. This is actually the series I have up here. So the harmonic series, which we're just going to call S1 here, is 1 plus a half plus a third plus a fourth, and you just keep going on and on and on and on. Okay, out to infinity. There's an infinite number of terms. Now, here's what I've done, and you've noticed I've bracketed off some of these, right? So I've bracketed off a group of 2 here, here's a group of 4, here's a group of 8 fractions. If I went on, I'd group 16 more. There's a reason I've done that. So, I also have a second series here, okay? And in this series, I start off the same, 1 plus a half, but instead of having a third here, I replace it with a fourth, okay? And then this fourth just remains a fourth, okay? I go to the next region, this 1/5 is replaced with 1/8, and the same thing with the 6th and a 7th. Then of course an 8th remains 1/8, so on and so forth, okay? Now the question is, why do I do that? Let's think about this for a second. What is 1/4 plus 1/4? That's a half, right? Okay. What is 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8? That's also a half. And then if I've got all these 1/16ths, there's actually 8 of those, what's that? That's also a half. And after that, you could guess I would have 16 of 1 over 32. And if I added those together, it would be a half. So what I can do is I can take this harmonic series and I can alter it in this way, and I can group the terms in such a way where I can get repeating units of plus a half, plus a half, plus a half out to infinity. So why do I do that? Well, think about it like this. Which one of these numbers, 1/3 or 1/4, is bigger? Well, 1/3 is bigger. 1/4 is actually smaller. 1/4 is smaller. If you look at 1/5 versus 1/8, 1/8 is smaller than 1/5. 1/8 is smaller than 1/6. 1/8 is smaller than 1/7. Now these are equal, but that doesn't matter. 1/16 is smaller than a 9th, and so on and so forth. So I think we could easily make the argument that this second series is actually smaller. It's smaller because the terms are either the same, as in 1 and 1/2, and then some terms down the line, or they're smaller. So series 2 is smaller. But what does series 2 look like if we simplify it and group these terms together? It's 1 plus a half, in red plus a half, in blue plus a half, in purple plus a half. So we're basically starting with 1 and then adding an infinite number of 1/2s. Well, if we're adding the same number, and it's positive, an infinite number of times, then series 2 goes to infinity. Series 2 diverges. Okay? So series 2 goes to infinity. It diverges. But series 2 is smaller than series 1. In other words, the harmonic series is larger than a series that already diverges. So therefore, series 1, the harmonic series, diverges. Okay? So this is really it's a simple proof, and it might not have been simple for this guy to do, but he did show all the way back in the 14th century, so the 1300s, the harmonic series, S1 here, it diverges. All right? Now, one important point that's important to remember here is this is kind of the general form of the harmonic series. We got a series from n equals 1 to infinity, and you can have any number, any constant number over n. Okay, now it can't be n squared or n to the 1/2. It has to just be n. Okay, but this constant can be anything. It doesn't have to be 1. It can actually be 2, 5, -5, -10. It could be anything, any number. Because what I can do, notice, is remember by laws of series, I can actually pull the c out in front of the series. So, and that would give me c times the series from n equals 1 to infinity of 1 over n. And since we already showed that this series diverges, it's infinite, multiplying it by any constant will just keep it infinite. Okay? The only way it would change is if this constant was like -2, then this would be negative infinity. Okay? But the harmonic series diverges. Now, when you're using this to prove other series diverge, you don't have to go through this proof. The harmonic series is just something you accept as being divergent, and then you just use that fact to prove other series diverge. Okay? And one of the useful aspects of knowing that the harmonic series diverges is actually going to be the direct comparison test, or sometimes just called the comparison test, which we'll actually cover in a few videos. All right? But for now, just take it as fact. The harmonic series diverges. Here's the proof of it. And hopefully you learned a little something in this video. Hopefully it made sense. So please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for future videos and notifications. Thank you very much.